How do you control your opponents even if you're slow on the court? Today we're finding out with Olympian Toby Ng.
Keep watching as Toby taught some of the best ways to control your opponents that even I was surprised to learn.
I think Toby knows something I don't, chat.
So stick along to find out how to have total control on court.
The first thing we're gonna do is learn to control when we're attacking.
Okay.
So sometimes smashing from a bad position is gonna put you into more trouble.
Okay.
So in doubles, we can consider in the backcourt how to hit a shot that neutralizes and gives us another lift.
Okay, so how do we do this?
Okay, so what we can do to demo the thing is like, the wrong thing to do is, let's say you smash, I lift to the other side, and you run over and you smash, and I'll just cross drive the other side. And then what you're supposed to do next time is smash, and if you're not in a good position, then just kind of drop straight.
Okay.
Right?
All right, how do we do this?
Like,
multi or what?
We can do single shuttle, right?
Okay.
Right. If you're not smashing into the right spot, or if you're not in a good position to attack, right, maybe try and reset. So next time, try and drop.
Can I simplify this into a rule of like, I shouldn't smash if they can just cross drive or cross push me?
Yeah, the rule pretty much is if you can't cover the next shot, then probably don't smash.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's better, right? So you got a better lift.
Yeah.
You kind of slowed it down so you can kind of have a reset.
Right.
And you didn't really have to smash at me in the second one, but you could like decide again what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that one is just kind of like to reset, slow down, and you're controlling me because you dropped it.
Yeah. So I think this is actually a pretty simple rule for this. It's when you're attacking, don't let your opponents hit to where you're not, right? That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, sure. If you're not confident in like attacking, then sometimes it's better to reset instead of trying to attack when you're out of position.
The second thing we need to do to control our opponents is?
We can look at defense, so on the flip side. So now if you're on defense, right, then what can you do?
Right. I'm slow on my feet. How do I control my opponents on defense?
Just make sure your depth is better. So what we can do is like just show the difference between like lifting to, let's say, the double service line or all the way to the baseline.
Okay. But depth is better, like on lifts, on everything. On like my defense?
Oh, on the lift.
On the lift.
So again, based on the previous principle, if they smash, right? If you're trying to lift the smash, that's gonna be a lot more difficult than if you were to block.
Right.
And then the front court person might hit a net shot again, and then you run in and you lift it again.
Okay, so here it's just only hit up if I'm confident I can hit to the back.
That's probably a good rule.
Okay, should we try it?
Sure.
Oops, sorry. Oh shit, I don't know why I did that. What's stopping me from just lifting and blocking, like just not driving? Like why would I drive then?
It depends on like where they hit. If they're not very strong and they keep smashing to your racket, then you're probably gonna be okay. So again, if you wanna control your opponent, take the pace out and maybe think of lifting in 2 shots instead of just 1. Right, if you keep lifting and then they kind of keep weighing the back, then you can do different things as well.
Right.
Part of the control is making them play your game and not you playing their game.
Okay. Next one is one I think is actually the most important. Most important one I think is serve and receive.
So if we're serving, after you serve, what do most people try and do? It depends on your opponents, right? So ideally, like when I play mixed doubles, especially, if I'm serving or my partner serves in mixed and they're at the front, the one shot that I can't cover is anything in front of the service line.
Okay.
But ideally, what I want them to cover is the front, right? Any kind of net shot. The thing is, if they also cover this and then also have to cover this, what happens is if they're covering anything kind of mid-court and then they leave the front open, then the back person's not doing anything.
I haven't played with a good partner in a while. I feel like I gotta get everything.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay, so assuming you have a good serve,
Okay.
then you should probably try and intercept. So if your partner is not very strong, I usually recommend letting them know which side you'll cover, and then it's just a bit easier to cover a bit side by side.
Okay. Let's show an example here. What are you gonna do to control me?
Is my partner strong or not strong?
Shit. So what are you doing? Obviously you're more in position than me after a few shots. What are you doing to do that?
So the first thing I'm doing after I serve is I'm looking for the net. And then assuming my serve is good, then I'm gonna try and jump forward. A lot of people serve and then actually stay here. So if I serve, I come forward. When I land with the split step, then I can push to one side, push the other side. So I'm putting a lot of pressure onto my opponent.
But I'm also hitting I'm allowed to hit mid-court shots and towards you too.
You are. So if it does go past me, that's actually very good for my partner because now they're looking for something. So ideally, the best situation is person at the front look for the net, the other person look for the mid-court.
It's pretty interesting. And this is information we're only gonna get with Toby because I stopped playing badminton like early 20s. So I've never reached the point where we don't just rely on speed and power. Now I know how I'm supposed to control you if I'm serving.
Yes.
I want you to show me how you're gonna control me when you're receiving. So what counts as you controlling me here? Is it I'm more under pressure than you?
You should have, I think you should have, if your serve is good, you should have advantage.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna hit your serve good is gonna kind of come down a bit. That's why people who try to kill the serve will have problems when they play someone with a very good serve. So they're coming this way, serve's coming down and they're stuck. Right? So I always assume my opponent has a very good serve and how early can I take it but slightly low, so I have to hit a neutral shot.
So the serve always has more of an advantage in controlling.
If the serve is good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay, I think my main takeaway for this point is that if you want to control off serve and receive, being a really good server is the most important thing in the game.
It will help, and it depends. If your partner can cover the pushes as well, then you'll be okay.
But being able to serve is you can win points consecutively because you can dictate control in a row. Like receiving, you can't receive in a row.
Yeah, technically you have to be able to win on your serve, otherwise you'll never win the match.
Okay, does that make sense? So drives, how do you control with drives?
The rule with drives is basically, can you beat your opponent on drives? So if they hit hard and you hit hard back, and you kind of keep it doing it repeatedly, who's gonna win the rally in the end?
Okay.
If you can win, then your optimal strategy probably is just to drive.
Yeah.
Right? Then you can kind of overpower them and then you're okay. Right?
So let me drive against you.
Okay.
I'm just curious, because what you're suggesting here is if your drive is worse than your opponent, probably don't drive, right? When do you not drive versus when do you just improve your drives?
The question actually should be, when do you stop driving when it's not working out, right? It's kind of like you can hit one or two and it's like, okay, I'm not doing so well, then you would take the pace out a little bit. The rule is if your drive is going up, probably is not a good situation.
Let's showcase it. Why all my stuff going up? Okay, let me see if I can.
I'm winning the drive. I'm winning the drive.
What?
Sorry.
Does that count?
Well, I mean, again, that one was an okay shot. You took the pace out and I had to lift it up. So if I still try and drive or play flat, it's very unfavorable for me, especially if you're running forward.
So what you mean by don't drive is just like these blocks count as don't drive.
Yeah, but why did you play soft? When you play a softer shot, then the other side can't play as hard either. So you basically, if you're losing on drives, it's better to kind of take the pace out so that they can't hit hard as well, because the flatter it is or the more rising the shot is, then the more chance it is going to go out.
Isn't this simply said just don't hit up?
The rule you should follow is if the shuttle is below the net, don't hit too hard because it's going to keep going in the same direction.
That's straightforward.
Yes.
You get it? So last one, positioning.
Positioning means like, let's say if I smash the middle, right? You can kind of move a little bit more and cover the middle better. So you can just worry about the straight, yeah, right? Versus like you two just kind of take your own side and then like no one's sure who's gonna hit the middle.
Okay.
Right? So positioning wise means that you can kind of cheat a little bit on the middle and we can actually cover that first concept, right? Don't block to the front,
right? Because
you can kind of take advantage of that.
Okay, should we try it?
Yeah, we'll just kind of show a couple of things. Yeah, good.
Can we make this more real? I don't feel enough pressure to do this. It feels like I'm doing a fake drill. Okay.
So I'll show you the other one. So I'll smash, try and just block, right? And then I'm gonna hit to the middle and then you come and take that one. Because I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be worried about them, so I play the middle, but then I forget about you and you come in and you can take advantage. Okay, drive. Be slow.
I'm slow, yeah, well.
So positioning is like making an assumption that I'm probably not gonna clear cross court because it feels really awkward, right? So if I smash, right, and then maybe I wasn't expecting it to come here, it's kind of like, okay, what am I gonna do? I have to account for my partners in the front.
Okay.
So lifting cross court is very dangerous for my partner.
Okay.
So for the sake of my partner, I'm probably like, oh, maybe I'll just try and block because I worry about the front person. Right? So if you kind of put pressure on me and I block the middle, that's actually a perfect chance for you.
Well, I want you to show me like what good looks like. How can you control us? Let's just do like a full court attack and defense. Or you're half court, like attack and defense. Okay, like
so I'm defense or attack?
No, you're attacking.
Oh.
And then you can do anything to us.
Okay.
I want to see what you're actually doing to control us. So I can hit anything.
Yeah.
Including clears?
Sure.
Last one. Okay, so you controlled me. What were you doing?
I wanted to give you shots that you're kind of a bit ambiguous, right? So you can kind of attack, but it's never perfect to attack.
Okay.
So then a lot of times you can just reset. So then when you reset, you're controlling me back, and I have to reset the rally. So you still have advantage. But I'm actually waiting for you to do something that's a little bit extended, and then that's my chance to counterattack.
Okay.
So it is a bit of a rock, paper, scissors kind of game.
And what does that have to do with positioning?
My position changes based on what you're going to hit.
Okay.
Right? Like once I made you a bit late, my gamble was like, oh, looks like drop, probably I can come in and maybe push. Doesn't mean I'm gonna win that one, right? Because then if you blocked it, I pushed it, and you read that, then you can counterattack. So it just depends on who's not ready for the next shot.
You got it?
It's okay, singles player.
I think this is a really good overview video of what control is supposed to be. I think in the next videos, we're gonna go even more in depth. There's like, I didn't know you had so much to talk about on each individual thing. It's really hard to cover in one video, so we'll break it down in future videos. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.